hopefully by now, we've talked about this many times. Most of you are figuring out value pricing and how to clients want value and they'll pay for it. What they don't want is a list of bookkeeping services or tax returns. I mean, they do need those things, but they won't pay much for it. So first and foremost, what do most of us that are either contractors, bookkeepers, tax prep, fractional CFOs, working on your own, your solo shop, it's a side hustle, or you do it full time. And usually it's a list of services. So if it's a bookkeeping, hey, I'm going to do bookkeeping in your bank rec and I'll punch out the P&L button, hope it's right. I'm not doing any end of the month work on that P&L or gap accruals or journal entries or finding and fixing errors. Simple, very low value. Now we already have, QuickBooks does a lot of AI. I call it AI. They code stuff already automatically, super easy to do. So there's about 3 million bookkeepers, accountants in the U.S. and then way more even if you add in Asia, India, Philippines. Those people are smart, they're accountants, and they're coming into the market remote at very low hourly rates. Lots of competition. And what are they competing for? The cheapest possible services: bookkeeping, payroll, and tax return. And who's the new entrant into all three of those things that are already low pay and already miserable? Bookkeeping is no fun. Tax returns are no fun. Filling out boxes. Payroll is definitely no fun. The new entrant is AI. AI is growing exponentially. I think if you go 5 years out, the part of the market that is going to get eaten up is bookkeeping, payroll, and tax prep will be mostly AI. And so if that's your business model, good luck. I call it the Walmart business model. I don't care if you charge value or hourly. You're not going to get much for it. The second a CEO hears the words bookkeeping, payroll, tax prep, they think, oh, cheap. Money, save, commodity, low pay, Walmart. I'm not paying much for this, or I'll go to someone else. And so our contention, what we do in the Dope CFO business model, is we need to find a way to add real value to our clients. And so if you go to the other end of the spectrum from what we're all doing, and you go out to see Fortune 500 companies and these massive companies you see like Nike or IBM or Apple or whoever, the CFO is the number 2 position. And what does that CFO do? 1,000 things. They make themselves indispensable to the company. They're doing legal structuring and compliance and HR and of course accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, and tax returns and audits and software implementations and 1,000 things to add value to the company. Most of them are back office things. And AI is not going to take over that realm for any time soon. Asia, not. Intuit, not. Solo bookkeepers, not. Tax people that have 400 clients aren't. And even fractional CFOs that are trying to go into a client, automate it, get 10 to 20 clients, light touch at month end. So a deep dive, what I call a full service CFO, not a full-time CFO. So a full-time CFO has one job. So say you're a full-time CFO and you get with your resume and your market, you can make 200 grand a year at your job. And if you want more pay, you can ask your boss for a raise, or you can go find another job. Maybe you can get 220. But my contention is, why not get 3 clients, each paying you 200 grand? Now you've tripled your money. You're not going to ever do that with your resume. Now you're making 600 grand and you're only serving 3 clients. Well, first and foremost, what does that do? It makes marketing easy. You only need 3 clients. And really, you only need 1, because if you kill it for the first client, they will feed you the other 2. Especially if you're in a multi-vertical niche like cannabis. We have farming, dispensaries, manufacturers, processors, labs, distribution, wholesale, delivery, all these different sub-niches. So if you have a dispensary, they're dealing with those other sub-niches, the labs and the farms, and they'll happily give you your next client and rave about you. If you do, again, top shelf, deep dive, intense product with white glove service, you are always available. I tell them I'm around 24/7. I'm going to give them the best service, because who's not giving good service? Asia, Intuit, solo bookkeepers that have 50 clients, tax preparers that have 100 tax returns, firms, small firms, medium firms, big firms, too busy, not enough accountants, all the market, and even fractional CFOs, they're not giving good service. The only people giving good service are the full-time CFOs and controllers. They might be full-time. They might be getting paid a lot. Their turnover's quick. They're not getting. They may or may not be giving a good product with that service. So if you're in there as a full-time job getting 300 grand a year or whatever, you're not doing a good job. That's a waste of time for the client as well. So I'm going to value price. I'm never going to hourly price. And when a CEO asks me what I do, I say everything. That's what it is. And so what does that mean? Well, I flip it on them. I say, well, let's talk about what you want to do as a CEO. You're leading the company. You're number one. Who am I? I am number two. I'm going to add more value than your chief of operations, your CMO, your people that do the day-to-day, the people on the farm, the managers and sub-managers. I'm going to add more value than all those people. So I'm your number two. You're the number one. You, of course, want to focus on your product and your brand. Are you growing weed? Are you making products? Are you selling them? Your brand, your customers, the forward face of the business. Everything else, those 100 other things, I got you covered. I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg, but I'm going to be indispensable to you. You are going to rely on me, and you're going to pay me well. And if I can do a really good job, I probably strive for a little equity as well in my value pricing so I can be aligned. These companies are all multi-million from day one, rapid growth to exit. Rapid growth means complexity and doing acquisitions and opening new locations and your 3 dispensaries, and we had a farm, and then we open a manufacturing plant, and then all of a sudden we're processing the trim. It's complicated. AI doesn't do that. Philippines doesn't do that. Bookkeepers don't do that. Tax preparers don't do that. Fractional CFOs don't do that. So we are all in on one niche. That's also super important. Why? Because I'm an expert in anything cannabis. I know about the politics. I know the laws. I know which states are legal, which aren't. I understand the interstate commerce issues. I know the court cases. I know 280E. I know the software. I know the compliance. I know the licensing. I know all of it. So of course I'm going to have way more value than a fractional CFO or even a full-time CFO that they just hire out of corporate somewhere. So again, that's my overall message. How to set your initial fees. Now another piece, let's talk about that a little bit. Again, this is how I position myself as I'm the only solution. I'm the best solution. And by the way, I will bring the team with me. You don't need to worry about hiring accountants or bookkeepers or whatever. As you scale, if I need a bookkeeper, I'll bring them on. If whatever we need, if we need to get an audit, I'll deal with that. I'll get it outsourced. We'll do it. Now, how to increase our fees. My offer and engagement letter says clear as day. Every 90 days, we're looking at this. This is not a job. I'm not fractional. I look at my fee, and in a normal year in a high growth cannabis environment, I'm going to raise my fee 2 to 3 times. I probably could raise it every quarter, but I'll usually on one quarter that I don't raise it, I'll say, hey, look, I probably need to raise it again. You didn't open that new dispensary quite yet, but I'm going to give you a break this quarter. We'll look at it next quarter. So my fee is going to be able to go up and adjust every quarter. What does that mean since I get to do that? If I blow it and underprice a little, maybe the client should be paying 14 grand a month and I'm charging him 8 grand a month. That's okay. 90 days in, I'll say, hey, I need to knock it up 11 grand. I need to be making 14 grand, so we're going to work our way there over the next 6 to 9 months, and then we'll, again, evaluate every 90 days. That way, I'm always making what I'm worth. And by the way, if they say all of a sudden they do acquisition of 4 new dispensaries and 2 farms, and it's a $12 million acquisition or $20 million, I say, oh, not just my fee, I'm going to include my fee. I need 2 more bookkeepers this amount of time. So it may be a jump of $12,000 a month, but it's not just me. And again, we get out of them looking at it as me and look at me as a company, CEO of my bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and CFO service company that provides everything you need, including the team where and when you need them. So that's how I position myself. Don't see any comments and how I do pricing. It's an important thing to do before the prerequisite to be able to even do this is I gotta have the education. So it's really the Dope CFO program. If you're interested, lots and lots of education to be an expert in all things cannabis: accounting, tax, court cases, software, politics, states, brands. We need to know everything. I need to have a marketing system. I need to have every last tool and work paper tailored for this niche: chart of accounts, cost accounting templates, reporting tools, onboarding tools, cleanup tools, controls documents, on and on and on. We need lots of tools and work papers. Again, they're in our program, and we need a national community experts. So if I need 2 bookkeepers tomorrow, I can find them in my community, or if I need a tax person, or if I need to outsource some of the work or whatever, or just ask a question to experts like, hey, who knows about Michigan, Detroit County tax returns? I got an issue here. Help me out. I ask questions too. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you next week.